Hello, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel, rosewardsstampersdelight.com. So today what I am going to be working on, again, my new series, Something Old and Something New. I like to do this series at the end of the Stampin' Up! Year, just before the beginning of the new Stampin' Up! Year, so that you can see some of the products that will be retiring, but how well they go with some of the new products that you can order. So I'm going to show you both. If you'd like to order, this is my host code for May. But if you'd like to join my team, just go to stampersdelight.com. I'd love to have you on my team, and you can get some of these new products once you join. Okay, so for the ones that we are going to be showing, or I'm going to be showing that's retiring, is on page 166 to 167. Some designer series paper, Perennial Essence, Mosaic Mood, and also we're going to be using some Bird Ballad Suite. On the next page, I'm going to be using the Shimmer Detailed Laser Specialty Paper. Now, if you saw my video on Friday, you'll see that I did touch on that, and I'm going to do a couple more things with that. From the mini catalog, which is some of these items are retiring, I'm going to be using some of the best dressed note cards in envelopes found on page 55. Those are also retiring. Those are the retiring items that I will be using, but I'm going to show you how well they go with a couple of things that will be available starting June 4th. That is our Old World embossing folder. Gives it a vintage look or a distressed old-fashioned look. Also the Tasteful Textile. Let me bring that up so you can see that. That gives a lot of definition and texture to your paper. Also, what I will be using, and again, these products will be available on June 4th, is the Lovely You stamp set. Absolutely love this font. And the matching coordinating punch, which has two different punches here, and each one can do 3 sizes. 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch, which you will see shortly. I'm also going to be using, or you will be seeing, some of the dies from the new Tastefully label dies. These are great for any font or sentiment set. You see some of them are stitched and some aren't. Great dies that you can get starting June 4th. Again, if you join my team in Stampin' Up! Now, some of these items you can purchase before then. Okay, so let's get started. So I touched on this a little bit on Friday, and I showed a card there using the detailed laser paper. The detailed laser paper comes like this. Now I will pull this out. One piece is missing. So it's going to look like this. This piece right here I already used. So it's shimmery. And what you can do is you can use this for scrapbooking or cards. Today we're going to be using it for cards. There's a little piece that doesn't want to come off here. And you can cut these pieces and make them into cards. Very fine detailed paper. And then you have these little ones at the bottom here, which you can make some cute little note cards. You get 3 of those sheets, so you can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. And then you get 3 sheets. And then, of course, you have these pieces on the edges here. I would probably use those for scrapbook pages. The other thing you get is 3 sheets of this paper right here, which is absolutely gorgeous. And let me just go back and tell you that, yeah, you get 3 of each, so it's 6 sheets. This makes beautiful scrapbook pages. Okay, but if you don't want to use it as scrapbook pages, you can cut these images out. You can cut just a section out for a card. So lots of uses for this shimmery paper. Okay, so let me show you a couple of the samples first. So this one is with the Mosaic Mood. And of course you see my cute little bow there, which I'll be showing you that. The shimmery paper. And then back here, it's very hard to see, but back here is the textured embossing folder. This die right here is from the Tastefully textured dies, which will be available June 4th. So there's a cute little card that you can make up using, that's why that one piece was missing, because I used it. Great card that you can use using something old and something new. Okay, so let's get started. Let me show you a couple of things, and then I'm going to show you how I did them. Okay, so this one is using the Old World embossing folder back here, and then the Perennial Essence paper, which is retiring. Here is, again, the Tasteful textured dies with the Lovely You new stamp set. Just a quick, cute, easy card. Something to send somebody, let them know you're thinking of them. So what I did with that, we're going to change up the sentiments. I like to change up things so you can see how they work. So remember, this is the Tasteful dies. We're going to use something a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my paper first. And here you have that Old World embossing folder, which I already embossed. We have the Perennial Essence, and you can use either side, but I kind of like this side for that. And then, of course, we have this overlay piece. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. I'm actually going to bring in my mini one, which was free when you joined during celebration. Okay, so this has to be the same size. Okay, now there's a couple things you can do with this. Okay, I'm going to grab my Tombow, and I will have to bang the table. Apologize up front. Get that coming out. I'm just going to dot some of this on here very quickly. I will be doing these something old and something new right on through the month of May until June 4th, when you can actually buy the new products. Okay, I'm just going to add a little, should have my silicone mat under there, shouldn't I? Okay, next time. I'm going to lay that right in the corner here. Let it set for a minute. And then you can either cut it with your scissors, or you can go ahead and use your paper trimmer. Again, because this takes up less room, I'm going to go ahead and use my mini paper trimmer. And just cut that off. This piece I could use for something else, maybe one of those scrappy cards like I did in my other video. And then I'm going to slide this in this way. Just line it up so it's even. I'm going to cut that off. And there's my piece. These are great ideas for quick, easy cards. I'm going to go ahead and layer that right on top of my new color. Did you notice? This is Misty Moonlight. This is one of the new in colors. So I'm going to grab my thick Very Vanilla. For card bases, I like the thicker cardstock. And this is going to layer right on top of here. Now, again, you can see that I didn't cut this to fit yet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this down at 4 inches, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take a little bit off of this. The only thing with the smaller trimmer is it only goes to 4.5 inches. So if you want to cut more than that, you need your bigger trimmer. There you go. I'm going to layer that right on top here. I love this series because I love to see how I can coordinate things with outgoing and incoming products. This is going to go right on here. And then this one is going to lay right on top of here. Now for this one, I think what I'm going to do is just pop it up with some dimensionals. Grab my dimensionals here. And by the way, I am recording this on Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. Usually I do a Facebook Live on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m., but this week I am not because it's Mother's Day. I'm also on Facebook Live Friday mornings at 7 a.m. and sometimes on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. for What's Up Wednesday. And you can catch me on Facebook or always follow me on YouTube. So there you have a nice, quick, easy card. Now what I'm going to bring in is that great punch. And I'm going to be using 1-inch sizes. You can actually use the smaller size, but I want the larger one. Now I will tell you, this is 1 inch by 3. I find that works very well. And I'm using very vanilla to keep it coordinating. Now this punch, you'd want to put that right in there and punch down. I will tell you, that one came out good. You see the edge right there. And then I can just flip it around. I will tell you that a lot of times I like to punch it this way just to make sure that I'm getting it even. 1 inch fits very snugly in there, so it does work pretty well. If you're using the 2-inch, the 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch, I like to flip it over and make sure that my paper is right where it needs to be. This is actually going to go right here. Quick, easy card. And I am again going to use the words that we have here, heartfelt. I'm going to change this one up a little bit, so I will use heartfelt. And I'm using Night and Navy. And then I can put it down here or up here. I kind of like it down here only because I just love those flowers. So again, I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And I'm on one about 3 inches. I use about 3 dimensionals here. So this is the way I get those dimensional backings off with my Take Your Pick tool. Just give it a little tug or twist. I'm just going to put that right there. Again, you have a great quick card. I'm not putting anything on the inside. Normally I would, but I'm leaving the saying blank because I'm not sure what I'm going to be using this for. But this lovely set that I have here has these great little flowers. So I'm just going to grab one of the flowers, maybe this little one right here. I'm going to put that on a block because I do like to have something on the inside in the corner. And I would also use that for my envelope. The other thing I like to do is I do like to put rhinestones or some kind of glitter or embellishment on my cards. So I'm going to do that right now. See, my lights went off there for a minute. So I'm going to bring in my Noble Peacock rhinestones. And in here you can see I have lots of different colors. That's why I choose this one so many times. I'm going to go ahead and grab my blue and just add a couple of rhinestones to this to dress it up a little bit. Look at that. One in each flower kind of brings it out. Although, yep, there we go. Okay, that stuck down. We just wanted to make sure. Maybe one more right there just to bring it out a little bit more. I'm not sure if you can see these. But if you go to my blog, stampersdelight.com, later on today or tomorrow, you will see the still shots. So again, quick, easy card using something old and something new. Here's the earlier one I did, and you can see the background paper is a little bit different. But what great what great cards, right? And you can see this was a little narrower from the Tastefully Textile dies. So I put that one up there because it didn't take away so much of the flowers. And if I wanted to now, just to show you a little bit change up, now I'll add some rhinestones here. Just adds a little bit to the card. Maybe one right there. I love adding rhinestones or embellishments to my cards. There you have those two. Okay, moving right along. I'm going to bring in another one, and I'm going to show you some different colors. Okay, so the first one I did with this heartfelt one, again, I used, when I was originally doing these, I used the dies, and I am showing you both, showing you the dies that I used, and then going back to the label punch. So this is Rococo Rose. That's not retiring, but this designer series paper back here is. That's the in color 6x6 designer series paper, and that's retiring. That's not the in color, sorry. That's just the 6x6 retiring DSP. Okay. So for this one, what I am going to do is I'm going to bring in that piece. I'm going to bring in, this is retiring, the color, Lovely Lipstick. that's going to be my base. And I'm going to go ahead and fold that. And again, this has to be cut. You can cut it down ahead of time if you want, or you can do what I just did before and lay it down. I'm going to show you another way to ink that up. You can flip it around and put some ink on there, or you can use your silicone mat and grab a sponge like I like to do. You can see it's kind of messy, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to see that. I'm going to put some of my Tombow as soon as it comes out. I think I need a new one. Okay, let's try this one. Time to get some new ones opened. There we go. So I'm just going to put some Tombow there. Blot it. And then blot this up like this. And just dot that. What happens with the silicone mat, it stays on the mat. So it doesn't go where you don't want it to go. It's just going to go around the pieces that I want. So pick that up and move that out of my way. Please contact me if you have any questions. You can go to my blog, stampersdelight.com, and my email is right there. Please feel free to email me. And if you want to be on my newsletter, just let me know. Okay, so you see what I did here. The flowers are going this way. This one, because of the writing, I'm having the flowers go the opposite way. I like to show different ways to do this so you can get different ideas. Again, I'm going to bring in this small paper trimmer. And this is a 6x6 piece, so it will just fit there. And I'm going to turn it around here and trim that off, just like that. Okay, these pieces I can use for something else. And then that's done. And then I'm going to layer it right on top of my lovely lipstick cardstock. So I'm going to grab my snail. Just snail that down. Now, also, just to let you know, you want to get your snail refills if you like the snail, because that is being retired. It will be replaced by something else. And we're just going to layer that right in there. Okay, so instead of using the new dies, again, I'm going to be using this new punch. I am going to be bringing in a longer piece. And I'm going to put this one down here. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, what one did we use? Which side did we use? We used this side before, so let's use this one. This is, again, a 1-inch piece. I'm going to put it right in there. And look at that nice edge. So this piece was actually like 3.5 inches long. And I'm going to go ahead and punch that down. So I have this beautiful tag now. The punch is great because you can get any length size you want. For this one, I'm going to put in Lovely Lipstick, Miles Apart, but Still in My Heart. These are great cards I'm going to be sending out to some people that I haven't been able to see lately. And you'll see what I mean. This is a long enough piece to stamp this. There we go. All right, and again, with this one, I am going to go ahead and put that dimensionals there to pop it up. I like three-dimensional projects. So again, I'm going to put 3 dimensionals here. If you like the Lovely Lipstick, which I love that color, you want to get that cardstock, re-inkers, and stamp pads now. Especially if you have the stamp pad, please order the re-inkers because they will be going away and they run out fast. And also, you can get the blends, the markers, the blends. I'm going to put that right there. And because we don't have a Lovely Lipstick rhinestone, I'm going to go ahead and grab some champagne colored ones, rhinestones. Now, these are not retiring. These are actually going to be in the catalog. And I like to also put them there. It kind of gives you the focal point, makes you see this a little bit better. And again, maybe a couple more in here. There we go. Now for the inside here, I would grab a piece of very vanilla, because that's what I'm using, and that matches up very nicely. I'm just going to cut a piece of this into 4. And this 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/2. That will meet inside. Okay, so that needs to be trimmed. So 4 by 5 1/4 is usually what I use for the inside of my cards. And that fits in right in there. Now again, because I don't have a saying that I want to put on the inside, which is perfectly okay, I like to leave a lot of my cards blank on the inside. I'm going to grab the lovely lipstick again. Take that piece out. And then just put that right there. And that'll be for the inside of my card. I know I keep putting my arm in front of you, and I apologize. If you notice, I have a sweatshirt on. It's a little nippy here in New York. Even though last week I was sitting out in the sun, grabbing some rays, and today I have a sweatshirt on. Okay. And there we have another card using something old and something new. And if you want to see the still shots, again, stampersdelight.com. All right, so for the next one, I'm going to show you. I do have several. Now remember, these are all from this one sheet. Let me bring that back in. I'm using all of these from this one sheet of Designer Series paper. You saw the one that I cut out here. I'm using all of these pieces and showing you what you can do with them and how many cards you can get out. Okay, so this is the first one I did. And this is with the Bird Ballad Sweet paper back here. Just a cute little card. I had a piece of the petal pink ribbon. That is also being retired. And Just Because. So that's the one I did originally. Now I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to be using terracotta tile. Terracotta tile is not being retired. However, this paper, Bird Ballad Sweet, is. And you can use whichever side you want. I wanted the bird cages. So what I'm going to do here is, this is a smaller piece, but it's fine because it fits right in there. So this is a great way to use up some of those extra Designer Series paper pieces that you've had that maybe you used for something else, and you want to now use them up. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you. You can also use snail to do this, which is why I'm using this. Or you can use your Tombow. I'm doing this here because it's not as large as my paper. So I just want to put that down first. And you'll see when I flip it around, there we have the bird with the birdhouses. What I like about this one is this is a very subtle effect here, okay? And you can see it when it gets close up. But this one really makes it pop. This is going to be layered right on here. Now you could cut that down and actually layer it with another color. But the purpose of this is just to show you how many quick, easy cards you can get out. So we're going to go ahead and layer that right there. Okay, now this one I don't put a piece of ribbon on there yet. And then I am going to grab, again, my punch, because that's what we're featuring. And actually, I think for this one, I'm not going to use the punch. I'm going to do it the same way in a different color. I'll use the terracotta tile. This is still the lovely You stamp set. I'm going to go ahead and put Just Because right here. Now, because it is shimmery, you do want to give it a few seconds to dry, okay? I'm going to bring in some terracotta tile ribbon from the Ornate Garden. This is also new. This is actually available now because this was what they did, a sneak peek early release. I'm just going to tie that in a cute little bow. Just like that. I'm going to grab my scissors and just cut this off. Now, I'm going to hold it kind of tight so I can get that at a nice angle. These are not my ribbon scissors. I'm going to use my paper snips because they're a little bit sharper. Get a nice edge there. Okay. And for this one, maybe I'm just going to put it either up there. I could put it over here. I like it at the top. Kind of like, looks like it's hanging the birdhouse from there. So for this one, I'm going to use some glue dots. Just going to grab my glue dots, which are right here. Now, glue dots come in a round roll. These happen to be leftovers from my paper pumpkin kits. I'm just going to put, I like to use at least 2, although these do hold things in place very good. Okay. I'm just going to play around with that bow a little bit. Pop it right down there. And there we have another cute little card. This is the other piece to the Very Vanilla, and it should fit in there nicely. Okay, so we're going to, before I do that, I'm going to use another flower from here. Let's see, I think I will use this one. Nope, I think I'll use this one. Because I do like to decorate the inside. So I'm going to take the terracotta tile, and I am going to just put that right in there. Some great cards, right? So imagine, this is just the one sheet that I'm using from the designer series paper, the shimmery paper. And I love the shimmeriness to it. This one I think I'm going to just trim down just a tad. A little too big for me. There we go. So there you have it again. Bird Ballad Suite designer series paper, just opposite sides. Okay. For the next card, and I think what I'm going to do first is I better close up some of these inks or I will be getting them all over the place. Anybody else do that all the time? I do. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to bring in the next card. And again, remember I used the Textile dies for the first cards that I did, just to show you the difference. And that is Mango Melody back there. But this ribbon is from the new catalog, and it almost looks like cheesecloth. I think that might be what they call it. But it is the softest ribbon I have ever felt. I think this is going to be my new favorite because I do like soft ribbon. It's so much easier to tie. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to bring in again my Very Vanilla thick cardstock for the base. This piece right here, again, is the Mango Melody. And I want to show you, if you can see it, the texture. Okay, that is the new embossing folder. I will have everything in my description. And I'm going to layer that right on my cardstock here when I'm done. This is the Mosaic Mood. And this is gorgeous paper. Look at that. I'm really going to hate to see that go. And this one you can do either way. I think I want my butterfly going up. My flowers can go down. So that to me kind of looked like maybe a gate of flowers. And again, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because this is a very intricate piece. And I'm going to bring in some of my Tombow. Time to open new ones. But you don't need a lot of this. That's what I like about it. use a sponge. I like to keep a paper clip, one of those clips on it, so it keeps your hands from getting sticky, and just dot it. It doesn't even have to be on every spot. Again, it'll just go where you want it, and you don't need a lot of it. Pick that up. This piece I had already cut down to fit on here, as you can see. And if I don't get it exactly right, I can always trim it off. So there is that beautiful piece. I'm going to layer that right on top of here with my snail. Look at the back of that. That's pretty too. Just going to go ahead and add that right on there. Now for this beautiful, beautiful ribbon that I love so much, I'm going to show you how I kind of make it look like a bow, which it is, but I don't want to use a lot of ribbon around the back that you're not going to see. So what I do is I wrap it around this way, just like that. I cut it. So I have that piece right there. And then I'm just going to adhere that to my base. And I go right over the ribbon on the back so it stays in place. I'm going to go ahead and layer that right on top here. And then I'm going to make myself a saying. Again, sticking with the very vanilla. This can be a longer one because it's a longer piece, but I don't want it to cover up too much of that. So let's see. I think I'll grab a smaller one just because I want some of that nice ribbon to show. So this piece is 1 inch by 3. I'm going to go ahead and cut my edges. I'm going to bring in my Mango Melody. And let's see what saying I want with that one. Cherished Friends. Let's see if that is long enough. I think that one will fit perfect. Yep. So this one called Cherished Friend. I'm going to have a lot of cards to get out this week. I'd love to send you a card too. Just send me a message. As long as it's in the United States. Not doing too many out of the country mail right now. Okay, so Cherished Friends. Now I do want to make you aware of, you see how I have light and dark here? That's because I just re-inked my Mango Melody, and it hasn't quite filled up the whole pad yet. So I kind of like it because it gives me a light and dark effect. It eventually will spread out. Just a little notation there. All right, I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. Now, whenever I'm doing ribbon, I like to put a couple extra dimensionals on there so that it does stick. I put one there, one there. Try to get it over the ribbon to hold it in place. Okay. And actually this one, what I did was I did some sponging. So let's do some sponging on that. Let me grab my sponge and I'll show you how we do that. You can use that with a sponge dauber or a sponge. So the sponge daubers work. I'm actually going to use a sponge though. Even though I've already done that, I can just add some color to make that label pop. I'm going to put that right here. Make that set right there. Press it down. Then I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to loop it through here. I'm going to take a generous amount. You can measure this out. I usually don't. And what I'm going to do is just tie that bow right here. I don't want it to make it too tight because I don't want it to pop off my card. And it, like I said, it's such a soft ribbon. It's very, very pliable. I'm going to turn it around. Yes, I tie bows upside down. I'm just going to tie that like that. Pull that out there. Play around with it just a little bit so I can get it the way I want it. make that tail a little bit smaller. This ribbon you can also color with your blends. Blends markers will make it a different color. Let's just play around with that. There we go. And then I would trim off the edges. There we go. So you see the same cards. Now again, what I want to do with this one is I'm going to bring in some of my rhinestones. And for this one, I think I will use the champagne again. Now remember that what's retiring here is those gorgeous papers in the background. I have some rhinestones, the champagne rhinestones, and I'm just going to add those to the card. And maybe a couple right inside here, just to make it pop a little bit more. Quick, easy cards. I think I'll add some on this one too. Maybe one right there. Doesn't really need a lot because it's beautiful just the way it is. So it is the new dies, the new label punch, and the textured embossing folder back there, but the retiring designer series paper. Okay, now in keeping with that piece that I showed you, remember it had these pieces, these small pieces right here. How quick and easy are these to do? I'm going to bring those in and show you a couple quick little. These could be little thank you cards, little tags for gifts. Beautiful tags for gifts. Okay, so you have this one. And you have this one. I actually have 2 sheets here. So I have 2 of everything. But we're only going to do 1. But you get the idea. They are laser cut, so they do stick together. You want to keep those apart as much as you can because they are so intricate. You can see this one got, whoop, there we go. That one got tied up. So I have 2 of those. Only need 1 of each though. And then you have this beautiful one and this one. Okay, so what can we do with those? Well, in the mini catalog, we had these great little cards, which are retiring. And these are cute little note cards with matching envelopes. So, so cute. So let's take a purple and a yellow. And I think we have a grapefruit here. Okay, the grapefruit is also retiring. We're just going to put those aside. I think those are the only 3 colors in here. Okay, and then of course we have our matching envelopes. These make such nice tags for cards, for gifts. Okay, so there we have our envelopes. So let's start with the grapefruit. I'm just going to fold that in half. And let's see, I'm going to grab this one. Nothing special, just see that it's, you know, going to be on that 3x3. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Tombow. And I'm probably going to open a new one right now because this one just doesn't want to come out. Okay, so let's open a new Tombow. And usually I do have these things ahead of time. This actually was a last minute decision to do this video. Today anyway. Okay. So let's, there we go. Nice. Alright. So, bring in this. A lot of ink on, glue on there now. Okay. Let's just flip this over. I'm going to be using that, so I'll leave that right there. I'm just going to lay this down here. And it doesn't matter which way you have the tag. You can have it that way, you can have it this way. I'm actually going to go with it this way. I'm going to bring in one of those 3x3 pieces. Okay. I'm just going to make myself a little tag. Just want to make sure you get it in the groove right, which I didn't on that one, so let's just try it again. Okay, the nice thing is I can put that right back in there. And that one just didn't want to work, so let's try it again here. And that's what I was saying. You want to make sure you get that right where it needs to be. And hold it straight. There we go. Let that guide keep your cardstock in place. Okay. And this one is going to go right here. I want that little color right there to be shown. So let's use the terracotta tile. I think will go nice with this. So let's go with the terracotta tile. And just because, maybe I'll use this for a little thank you card for placing an order with me. And I'm just going to put that. I like that color there. You can have it like that. Oh, I think I like it even better that way. So let me bring it up towards so you can see it. Not a lot I had to do with it. Again, I am going to put dimensionals on there because I like to pop it up. And I have myself a nice little note card. And you can do the same with all these different colors in all these pieces. As many as you want. Okay, so let's just move that out of the way. Now what I want to show you is the same idea, but what I did was I took a piece of our cardstock and I cut it down to 3 by 6. So it's 3 by 6 piece of cardstock, and I just folded that in half. I took some of my designer series paper that I had leftover pieces and cut those down to 3 by 3. So they fit right on top of there. And you can cut them down a little bit smaller if you'd like. And then what you can do is just use that over here. Look at that. Okay, so let's do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take that designer series paper that I cut down. And this is the Mosaic Mood. Sorry. All right. I'm going to take this piece right here. Bring in that glue that I still have a little bit of still wet there. I'm going to go ahead and glue that. Whoop, be careful with these. They're very small, so you don't want to do it too fast like I just did. Okay. I'm going to bring that piece back in. I'm just going to lay that right on top. Oh my gosh, how cute. And this is with just scraps that I had left over. And even though the hummingbirds, you don't see a whole hummingbird, look how great that looks. Okay, now I can slide that over. The nice thing about Tombow, if it's not exactly right, you can slide it over. And again, I'm going to grab one of these strips of 1 inch by 3 inch that I have. And this one I'll put in this side. And do some of these punches. Make some tags here. You can make a whole bunch of tags. Just sit there and make a whole bunch of tags and they'll be ready to go. And this one's going to go right here. Oh, I don't like the way that one came out. Let me try that one again. And you can just put it right back in there. It's just going to make it smaller. Okay, I'm going to try another one. This is how I like to do it. I like to put it in now. Let me just show you. Because sometimes so this way you can actually see where you're punching. I like to do it that way because I know my hands move. Okay, so we're going to do it that way. Yep, there we go. All right, and this one is just going to go right here. So let's see. Mango Melody. I think we use the bigger one. We're going to use Let's Cheer You Up. All from that stamp set. Maybe you have a little gift you want to give somebody that needs a little cheering up. And you can put that right on there with, again, using dimensionals. We also sell the 3x3 envelopes in the catalog, so you can get those to go with your little cards. And there we have a nice little 3x3 card. Okay, let's do one more. Oh, actually, we've got 2 more to do. So let's bring in, let's see, this is Perennial. And let's see what other pieces we have here. This is the birds. Let's see. I'm just lining to see which way I want to do these. Kind of want to get one that has the bird in there, if it's possible. And of course, you got this side too. We already did one with the mosaic, so let's try these too. Let's see if I can get that little bird in there somehow. I think this one's the best one with that. Nope, this one is. Okay, so let's do this. I think he's going to be on this one. Nope. Yep, that's the closest one I can get the bird. Actually, I can move it over a little bit and I get more of the bird. You see what I did? So I got a little bit of that bird right there. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to bring in my mat again. It's getting kind of sticky, so this is when you want to put more Tombow down so it's not real dry, so this doesn't stick. Okay, let's just lift that up gently. Now for this one, I'm going to move it over a little bit to the edge, which means I do have to cut some of this. For this one, I'm going to actually use the paper, the scissors to trim it off, okay? Just because I don't have a lot to trim, just a little bit. Okay, there. Now I can at least see the little bird up in the corner, which is what I wanted. I'm going to make myself a little tag. I just saw this piece right here needs to be trimmed a little bit here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead again and make a little tag. And again, remember, I like to flip it so I can see exactly where I'm cutting so I get the edges right. But you do whatever works for you. But what is going to definitely work for you is you're going to want this punch. Okay, so because I want that little bird there, I'm going to put this down here. I could even make that smaller if I wanted to. And again, I'm going to use Just Because. And this one I think I'm going to do with, let's see, what color do I have on there? I do have the terracotta tile. Since it's already open, we'll use that. It'll make it pop anyway. And I can actually, if I want this smaller, what I can do is just cut that edge off. But I'm going to leave it like that and just put it right in the middle there. Just making some gift cards for gifts. I'm going to go ahead and just put that right in the middle. And there you have another little cute, well, it would help if I put it on the base now, wouldn't it? Okay, so let me bring in another one of those pieces, which is 3 by 6 folded in half. And my bone folder is buried, so we'll just use my nail. You can see that's off a little bit, but it doesn't matter because that's the back side. It's going to lay right on top there. There we go. Another cute little tag. Okay, and one more. The last one we have is this pretty wreath one. So this, I kind of like that. Let's see what's on the other side. Could use it on that, but I really like this color. So I'm going to go ahead. And now again, this one, because it's not so intricate, I can go ahead and put snail on this. And lay that one down. And that'll lay right on top of it. And then I have one more piece here of my Berry Vanilla. Oh, there's my bone folder. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just nail that down. What cute gift cards. Gosh. Okay. And you got a really pretty little card, little tag. You don't even really have to put anything on there if you didn't want to. Maybe you don't know what you're going to use it for yet. But we are going to even cut this down even more. Let's see how small we can get this. Let's see what size this piece is. So this is 1 by 2. The only thing you want to make sure when you're using a small piece, any piece, is you want the edges to be cut straight, okay? So let me make sure this is straight. I want to see how small I can get this piece. That doesn't, let's see if I can get it in there. I think this one might work better. Yeah, that's way too small, right? So you want to use at least a 3-inch piece. Otherwise you lose it inside there. So let's grab this one. Didn't like the way that came out, so let me flip it around. Let's try this one. Here we go. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Here we go. Using that one. Using that one. Okay. And for this one, because there's not a lot in there, I can put that right in the middle. And we're going to use Heartfelt. I'm going to bring in the Night of Navy. That'll really bring that out. And we're going to put that right in the center. Because there's really no design. There's a few little flowers in there, but look at that. Just going to put that right in there. So I'm going to use some dimensionals here. And just put that right in the middle. And then how about bringing in some rhinestones for this one? Make that really pop. I think I'll use pink for this one. And just put one on either side. Look at that. That's all you have to do. So some great ideas, great cards using scraps left over from this year's products and pairing them up with the new ones that are coming out. So again, we've got these great little gift cards from that designer series paper. Again, if you'd like to see the still shots, stampersdelight.com. Then we have some great cards. And again, I will put everything in the description when I'm done. Of what I used. And then, of course, this one. I hope you enjoyed this segment of Something Old and Something New. Don't forget to tune in with me again, Rose Ward, stampersdelight.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.